It was a cold winter evening in a small town somewhere in America. The wind howled through the empty streets, and the last rays of sunlight barely touched the snow-covered sidewalks. Most people had already retreated into their warm homes, sipping cocoa or reading by the fireplace. But outside, on a quiet corner, shivering in the freezing air, was a little dog. His fur was matted and his body trembling from the cold. No one noticed him. No one cared until a small boy appeared. He wasn't much older than 7, bundled up in a thick coat and scarf, holding a small blanket in his arms. As he walked past the streetlights, his eyes caught the lonely dog huddled against the curb. Without thinking, he stopped, knelt down, and offered what he had. That one simple act would change both of their lives forever. Before we dive deeper into this heartwarming story, don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub, hit the like button, and leave a comment sharing a moment when someone's kindness touched your heart. Every story here celebrates the beauty of compassion, and your support helps us share more. The boy's name was Liam. He had just come from school, tired from a long day of lessons and playground games. But even in his exhaustion, he noticed the small dog shivering under the dim glow of the street lamp. His heart ached. Liam didn't know this dog, and the dog didn't know him. But in that moment, nothing else mattered. Liam's mother had always told him, kindness costs nothing, but it can mean the world to someone. And although he was just a child, Liam understood those words better than most adults ever could. He gently placed his little blanket around the dog's thin frame. The dog flinched at first, unsure, but then slowly relaxed, curling up in the warmth. Liam could see the gratitude in the dog's eyes, a silent thank you that spoke louder than words. As Liam sat there on the cold curb, he whispered softly to the dog, "Don't worry, little guy. You're not alone anymore." And for the first time that day, Liam felt a kind of happiness he had never known, a joy that comes from giving, from seeing the difference you can make in someone else's life. When Liam returned home, he couldn't stop thinking about the dog. He asked his mom if they could bring him some food, maybe even find a place for him to stay. His mother smiled, proud of her son's compassionate heart, and agreed. The next morning, Liam returned with a small bag of dog food and a bowl. But when he got to the corner, the dog was gone. His little heart sank. Had he been too late? Had someone else taken the dog, or worse, had he wandered off into the cold again? But then, something unexpected happened. A few minutes later, the dog appeared from around the corner, wagging his tail and bounding toward Liam like they had known each other forever. It was as if the dog had recognized the boy's kindness and wanted to return it in his own way. Liam knelt down again, laughing with relief and joy. The bond between them was immediate and undeniable. Liam decided to name the dog Lucky. And from that day on, Lucky and Liam became inseparable. They played together in the snow, explored the nearby park, and even shared Liam's blanket on cold nights. But the story doesn't end there. A week later, Liam and Lucky were out for a walk when they noticed a woman struggling to carry groceries. She had several bags, and her arms were full, but she was clearly tired and frustrated. Without hesitation, Liam ran over and offered to help. He carried a few bags, while Lucky stayed close by, wagging his tail and providing silent encouragement. The woman smiled warmly, thanking them both. She later told Liam's mother how the sight of a small boy and a dog helping someone in need had lifted her spirits, making her day a little brighter. This little ripple of kindness didn't stop there. Soon, other neighbors began noticing Liam's gestures, the way he held the door open for strangers, the way he shared his snacks with classmates who had forgotten theirs, and how he always looked for ways to help someone in need. People began calling him the little kind-hearted boy of the neighborhood. And Lucky, of course, became famous too, known as the gentle dog who always seemed to know when someone needed comfort. One snowy evening, as Liam and Lucky were walking home, they came across a poster on a lamppost. It was for a local shelter that needed volunteers and donations for homeless animals. Liam's eyes lit up. He ran to his mom and begged, "Can we help? Can we do something for them?" His mother nodded, proud and touched by his unwavering compassion. That weekend, they brought food, blankets, and even toys to the shelter. Lucky seemed to understand the importance of this mission too, staying close to the volunteers and offering a wagging tail and warm presents to every animal he met. Over time, Liam realized that kindness was contagious. When he helped someone, they were inspired to help others. When he shared what little he had, people around him started sharing too. And he learned something important: you don't need to be rich or famous to make a difference. All you need is a willing heart and the courage to act. Years later, Liam never forgot that cold winter evening when he first saw Lucky shivering on the street. That small act of giving a blanket, a simple gesture of warmth, had sparked something magical. It taught him that even the smallest acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, spreading warmth and compassion far beyond what you could ever imagine. Lucky grew up alongside Liam, never leaving his side. Together, they became ambassadors of kindness in their community. They visited nursing homes, comforted children in hospitals, and helped out at local shelters. People often remarked on the incredible bond between the boy and his dog, a bond forged not just through companionship, but through shared acts of love and empathy. And the magic wasn't just in the big gestures. Sometimes, it was in the quiet moments, the way Liam gently stroked Lucky's fur while reading a book, the way he saved his lunch to share with a friend, or the way he comforted a classmate who was having a bad day. Each act, no matter how small, added up. It created a life built on compassion, a life where the simple truth rang clear: kindness matters. One day, a local reporter heard about Liam and Lucky's story. She came to the neighborhood to write an article about the boy who had given his blanket to a homeless dog, sparking a wave of goodwill in his community. Liam, now a little older, stood beside Lucky as she took pictures. "I just wanted to help him," he said softly. "I didn't know it would go this far." The reporter smiled and nodded, understanding exactly what he meant. True kindness is never about recognition, it's about love, empathy, and the courage to do what's right. The article went viral. People from all over the country wrote to Liam, sharing their own stories of kindness, inspired by his example. Some donated to local shelters, some started volunteering, and others simply smiled at strangers on the street, spreading warmth and compassion wherever they went. Liam's small act, giving his blanket to a homeless dog, had grown into something much bigger than he ever imagined, and it all started with one little boy and one small dog, both just wanting to care for someone who had no one. The magic wasn't in the blanket or the wagging tail. It was in the heart. The lesson was simple: kindness matters, no matter your age, no matter how small the gesture. It can change lives, save hearts, and even transform entire communities. So, the next time you see someone in need, a neighbor struggling with groceries, a friend having a hard day, or even a lost animal in the street, remember Liam and Lucky. Remember how one small act can create ripples far beyond what you can see. Remember that warmth, compassion, and love are the true magic in this world. As Liam and Lucky continue their journey, their story reminds us all that kindness is never wasted. Every hug, every helping hand, every small gesture of love adds up. It makes the world a better place, one act at a time. So today, ask yourself, what small act of kindness can you do? Who can you help, comfort, or inspire? Because the world always needs more people like Liam, and maybe, just maybe, the magic of kindness will find its way to you too. The story of Liam and Lucky is a gentle reminder that the simplest gestures can be the most powerful. Giving a blanket, sharing a smile, helping someone in need, these small acts are the seeds of change. Kindness spreads, touching lives in ways we often cannot imagine. So, let this story inspire you. Reach out, help someone, be the light in someone's darkness. And remember, sometimes, the smallest heart has the biggest power to change the world.